So it is that time of the week. It's great to be here with Kyle Smith. We're in the Martin Stadium TV press box, and we've got ourselves the coaches show here this week. And, Coach, what a week. You know, I know it didn't go 100% as planned, but, you got the Boulder, the game.
What are you talking about?
The Buffs game. Yeah, I got
the week. The week starts on Sunday.
Oh, well, that's technically true.
Not technically true. That's 100% true.
Well, okay. Well, let's peel the onion back.
It's been a great week.
It has been a great week. That's
2
true.
weeks ago.
But since you and I last spoke, there have been 2 basketball games.
Oh, okay.
And,
I understand what you're saying.
A basketball week.
You just said this week. This week's been sensational.
I love.
Yeah, it's good.
You're trying to flush it and move on, and why not? Let's talk about that.
I'm a semantics guy. You said this week. This week's been good.
I love it.
All right. I just wanted me to get you straight.
Well, let's talk about this week. You know what I've noticed also, because I've watched kind of the shows as an aside. I feel like you work me like an official, but you're really good at it. Like, I give you half points on trivia.
I'm much better working you than I am an official. I'm going to tell you that right now. The technical streak got broken by me, and Noah picked up the slack. So,
well, yeah.
We're working. Work in progress.
Highly effective. 77-62, 15-point win in Seattle. You were 0 of 12 from 3 and up 9. And you must have felt great at halftime.
I know, felt good, and just felt good. We stuck with the game plan. We said we got to take care of the ball, and we had 5 turns at halftime. We didn't make it 3, and we got on the glass, and we're good on inside, and got us the lead, and then we got a little real raggedy in the second half, late in the game. Our ball handling, and that's been biting us in the bottom all year. And it's just we got 9 games left. We just got to fight. We are playing big, and not. I can make every excuse for us, but gosh, we want to be competitive and be better. We got to take care of the ball.
You had these 10 games left. Last we spoke before the Husky game. You had 10 games. We kind of segmented the season when we've talked about you got the non-conference, then you've got the first half of league play, you got the second half of league play. Last year, you ascended going into the tournament in Vegas. I'm sure that's always the goal. You want to peak at the right times, and that was the best game you'd played in a while. Really.
Yeah. No, it was. I thought really Colorado at home. We played well for 26 minutes, really well, or maybe even more, 28 minutes, and really got off to a slow start at Colorado without Isaac, but they kind of splashed threes on us and we had 2 games, a little snake bit where. Going to halftime, 7 for 8 from 3, or 7 for 9, what UCLA was, and I think Colorado did something like that. But we were able to chip away, and I saw where Tad Boyle was like, "Oh, we let off the gas second half." I was like, "I mean, you're not going to go 14 for 15 from 3." It's like we and I was proud of our guys, and we got that thing to 6, and gave us a little confidence that we just hadn't had a lot of juice, and then FA really picked it up on the glass last game, and I think that when he's doing that, we're a better team.
Yeah, that was kind of the early season FA. That was the FA that busted through the whatever expectations for a true freshman might be, where you go, hey, we got to play this guy a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. And he's an interesting player because he's got incredible gifts that are elite as anyone that's ever played the game. And then he's still a very young player. And going through experienced teams with big bodies or being physical with them, it's an adjustment. And, I think Colorado, their age, their maturity, that was tough. Utah, he struggled a little against Utah, and then UW, he's back. He just kept it simple, like try to get 10 rebounds every night. Then worry about everything else. And he's like, he had 8 at halftime. I said, Coach, I'm gonna get 10. Or I said, get 16. Okay, so it's like you can tell he was just really electric out there, and when he's like that, I think, like I said, it gives everyone a lot of juice.
Are there drastic differences in coaching styles in halftime discussions? Are there statistical and say, hey, you don't have enough rebounds. I'm looking at the box score. You need more. You need to do this.
You mean
more.
Us compared to other programs?
Yeah,
I've never been in anyone else's locker room.
Well, I mean, but you've seen Randy Bennett, and you've seen year to year, you've seen other coaching styles. San Diego.
No, you're right.
You haven't snuck in Tad. You didn't sneak in Tad Boyle's locker. Just take a peek. What are you guys talking about?
No, I think it's relatively. What I do is we go offensive notes, defensive notes, comment. Then we watch film actually in there.
The first half.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know, but you're asking the wrong
it's amazing.
guy. But we do. We watch some clips, and Anthony Lorenzo. I hope he's allowed to do that, but he has them clipped, and she was like football. I'm sure, whatever. We're advanced. They don't let you have the iPads on the bench. You could probably do it like live time clips.
Interesting. It's amazing.
But we don't. I think I think Anthony does it like 4 minutes before last media, and he goes, clip, and then we show it. And we show about 3 minutes worth, but it's like, everyone learns differently. So the visualization or whatever, if you show it to them, maybe, oh, wow.
Yeah.
But it gives us a chance to yell at him if it's not going good.
Well, your walkthrough routine is unique. Don McClain, who does the telecast often and was one of the all-time leading scorers in the pack and all that, great player at UCLA, he was watching. We were watching together in Berkeley last year, I think. And he had never seen what you guys do with video at the walkthrough. You've got a projector, and you show it, and then you walk it, and you little bite-sized compartmentalized pieces there.
It's the educator. I mean, it's the school teacher. My mom. Everyone learns a little different ways, and some are better with what is it, kinesthetic? I don't know, movement or writing, reading. I learn best like writing and thinking, imagine. Yeah. And then some people are on the floor, and some are visual. And most of these kids are visual. They're growing up on screens and that. So I think it's important to get the film on the floor, show it, let them see it, and then walk through it, and hopefully one of those takes. That's the goal.
Can you tell when you're in walkthrough, like, hey, okay, that's stuck, or no, we got to keep running? I mean, can you?
To an extent. You aren't. You're not there anymore. So it's more of how they're paying attention. It's more of they. You can see if they're anticipating what's coming in the play, and if they're late, they're not locked in. You have a better idea. Doesn't mean you can have a great walkthrough and not play well.
Sure.
And we didn't have a great walkthrough against UW, and I was a little concerned. And I was pretty animated at the end, like, hey, we got to get going.
Yeah.
And at the end we did. We said, and certain guy. I mean, I got to jump Noah to get him going sometimes.
Do you?
Oh,
doesn't seem like it.
No. Are you being serious?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got good energy, but sometimes like, just to get him more focused. Okay. He's always giving you good energy. He's going just like, hey, stay on task.
I mean, Noah's played. I wanted to talk about Noah. Noah has played like an all-pack level player, both sides of the court. I mean, he went last year as a true freshman. Potentially elite defender. Okay, Gervais got that role right now, but maybe this is Noah. And now he's not a good shooter. He's a great shooter. He's a near 50% three-point shooter. That is elite. I mean, it's really, really high level.
He's been great. And then I'm probably as big a jump from freshman to sophomore year as I've seen.
Yeah.
And I was kicking him a little today, teasing him. I was like, man, remember when you used to guard Coach Shaw? Like, he used to be this defensive player. Now, I was worried about a shot. It gets them all. It gets them all. And they can make baskets all of a sudden. But he's been begging him to get on the glass. And that's what we're really good at. Him and Isaac really rebounded last game. That helps us. We need everybody. Sometimes we haven't been rebounding well. It's like, hey, guards, you got to help us. These are young bigs. They're good bigs. But, got two freshmen in there a lot, sometimes three. We need all five guys back there, but we've had to lean on Isaac and Noah for a lot, and they get better. I think they get better and better. I mean, they're just becoming well-rounded, what we call 6-tool player. I mean, dribble, pass, drive, shoot, defend, rebound. Need a bunch of those, and then you have two of those in the backcourt. That's pretty special. And they got good size.
Yeah.
So it's good.
You had 38 minutes out of Bonton, 36 out of Williams. You had 46 points from your backcourt. You had 13 rebounds from your backcourt, 6 assists, 5 steals. That's very high. I mean, 5 steals is uncommon. And efficient field goal percentage. I mean, they played great. They really did.
Yeah, no, they did. And we've had success with watching, as a head coach, our programs like guards just make this steady progression, and like Isaac did through the year. And now, like I said, I think Isaac's taking another jump. And Noah's made a big jump. And, we get a little insulted when we walk in Tempe and it says guard you.
Yeah.
Like say, hey, you got some bigs. But, it's exciting to see those things and guys getting better.
Another one that we really need to focus on here is Deshaun Jackson. I mean, Deshaun has been now consistently right around, 10 points, maybe more. And he had 11 against the Huskies. 3 boards. That's actually a little low for him. He's been rebounding the ball better.
It's hard to get him away from FA.
Yeah.
When FA's wound up, I said, well, let's not. I said, Coach Shaw, let's relax a little on the rebound because I don't know what it's like when FA. It's hard to beat him to the ball.
Right. Good luck.
But no, Deshaun, you couldn't be more pleased with his progression, and it's more than just the production. It's the fact that he's a unique player. It's like having a penetrating point guard that you can't keep out of the paint when you got a low post threat that's big, wide. They put it in there. Eventually, they're going to have to bring doubles. I think we'll see doubles against Oregon. They like to double the post. And the next phase will be how do you handle that? His assisted turnover is not great. He's got to work on that. But that's exciting to watch him grow and develop. And I think he's got the potential to be that moving forward the end of this year and keep going, see how good he can be. And like I said, I remind people we didn't have him for 2 months where he missed conditioning, he missed preseason, he had a strange concussion. Someday I'll let you know how that happened.
I heard the story. We'll talk about it more off air. Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as he can explain it to me,
Amazing.
then I'll explain it. So, that's great. I mean, I don't know if the casual fan would understand that. Like, actually, my wife was watching the game with friends, and they're like, I don't know. They were like surprised, like Deshaun's pretty good. And so my wife's like, "Yeah,
no, he was a big recruit. Yeah, this was.
I mean, not even that. It's just like he's good." And they're like, "Well, and I don't like compare players." Like, well, I'm like, he is pretty good too.
Yeah,
him and Fa really complement each other.
Yeah,
so hopefully keep those guys around and keep them working and don't keep them hungry.
Love it. Yeah, I mean, Vova has never been. He has had moments, but he's never been a stat stuffer.
No.
But he affects the game at his best. He does seem to change the game.
He's got an obvious tell, and it doesn't necessarily show in the stat sheet. When he's good, he's really good, or when we're really good actually.
Yeah.
Cal, he was like 8-7, but it wasn't 8-7. It's just he's active. You got to account for him on the glass. He's such a big body, and he did that against Washington too. And you could he showed a lot of motion. He got that tip in towards the end.
Yeah.
And he was really excied. So he cares. He doesn't. It might be cultural. Like he's very stone faced.
Yes, stoic. He's a stoic.
Redefining stoic. He's redefining stoic. Old Vova. Like it's
Yeah.
And he's clever. He's funny too. But it's like Vova, well maybe it's our American. Like got to show us. But showing that emotion on the court and good teammate and he cares and just we need him. And he got the contact tracing or COVID protocol. He missed some time and kind of maybe it threw him off a little bit, but in certain matchups, he's really important too.
Yeah, and speaking of all that, you lost a guy who scored 13 points in the Beaver win early in the year, and a guy who played a lot last year as a true freshman, who's not he wasn't part of this recruiting class. DJ Rodman and Ryan Rapp have been really good players in league play.
Yeah, no, they struggled the last game, but we need somebody to be they're steadying forces and
solid.
And even though that's what I was trying to say, like they didn't individually play as well as they would like or we would like, but I think they understand their role. And I was like, look what Noah and Isaac, they were really good, and having DJ out there and Andre's been in a slump, he's been struggling a little bit, and that's part of getting over that freshman wall or getting through it. So being able to get those guys, I think they going through the freshman. They're not the freshmen like TJ. Good player, had a great game. Unfortunately, he got the tooth.
Yeah, the tooth
thing.
issue. Yeah,
but he'll be much better. He'll have much more confidence in what he's doing next year. And kind of Ryan and DJ went through that already, and so they're doing that. And DJ, like I said against Oregon, he was one of our best players in the fall. And it's like, doggone it, he had the ankle and then the COVID protocol deal, and it's like, doggone it, man. We need some breaks.
Yeah, something go your way. Yaki, let's talk about Yaki. The thing that he has done regularly, although I don't think he did it.
Not last game.
Didn't rebound against the Huskies. Zero.
That was actually the hard tell. Like, okay, Yaki struck. Before that, it was like, really, it's funny because we always I tell a freshman, like, there's two things you need to worry about: academics and social. That, like, make sure those things are clean, like, and everything else is gravy. And then if we get to that, defend, rebound, take care of the ball. And that's why he's played such a role. He's become a really good defender. He really gets on the glass. He gives us another ball handler. And he just should be making shots, but he hasn't. And he still was helping.
Yeah.
But now, whatever. We got to get him back.
Sure.
I don't want to dwell on it, but
sure.
We need him.
The thing that he does, I see why he was such a highly rated recruit. For what he wants to do, his size is incredible.
Yeah.
The way he wants to, his plan, but he's 6'8".
Yeah.
6'7", 6'8".
Yeah.
You're going to be a shooter like that. You're going to be a rebounder, but you're going to play the 3 spot.
Yeah.
At that size, he could be a monster.
Yeah. I think he's and that was kind of game plan early in the year. We were going to play more combo forwards, him and DJ together, so they complement each other. And
DJ
Rodman.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a lot of DJs.
Yeah,
so,
a couple DJs. Yeah.
Just with the injury, and then Fa going the power forward is just like moved him to as a really 3 that, and we're kind of changing on the fly. So we need to have more opportunities for him to use some of his ball handling, playmaking. It's harder at the 3. You're playing you might have to work day on him. You know,
Right.
guess what? In Macedonia, you're not getting the work. So when he plays, if he downsized, he's had good. Against Arizona, that's when he got loose. Stanford, he got loose when he's playing the 4 a little bit. But he's a little bit of a slump, but he's gonna bust out.
We've got questions. We've got trivia.
All right, let's go.
We've got all kinds of. We got to take a break. We're up against it. We're live here with Kyle Smith in the Martin Stadium TV press box. Coach Show continues next. TV press box. It is the coaches show here with Kyle Smith. We're going to get to Twitter questions, some of them going back to last week or semantically maybe 2 weeks.
Sure.
Depending. Dave Schneider asks, of the opposing players in the Pac-12,
Yep.
who would you most want to coach?
Oh, that's a great question. Does that mean they can get in the portal if I mention? Am I going to get in trouble?
You are not right. That you are not trying to tamper in this answer.
I tell you one that it goes back to watch him as a high school player, and he might surprise people, but it was a Kinjo.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I've seen him since he was a sophomore in
He's
high
from
school.
Oakland.
Yeah, he's a tough nut, just relentless, and that'll probably make Noah and Isaac mad. But
He's a good player.
he's just. I kind of, he's scrappy. He's a talented guy that's not afraid to get dirty, to get down there, and he goes after it. But that's the first one that jumped to mind.
He's the biggest.
I got some others. That kid in SC is pretty good.
Which Evan Mobley?
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be okay with that.
I'd try coaching him. I'd see what
fine.
I could do. He'd touch the ball. I let Mobley do a lot there, but it'd be fun.
That's a fun question from Dave. He asks a second good one here. What separates?
Make sure a Kinjo hears that, just so.
We'll
just make sure, send him let him know that.
Yeah, we'll send him the clip.
Coach Smith has a crush.
He's the Big East Freshman of the Year at Georgetown.
Well aware.
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly, can we say on this for a sec? I don't think he had any Pac-12 offers.
Is that right?
Because I was trying it in San Francisco. I mean, maybe Washington State did. I don't want something, but
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he would have gone to Cal.
Yeah.
I think he might not have been able to get in Stanford. He's a good student, though. Went to Georgetown, so that's not out of reach.
Sure.
He wanted to go to the Pac. What I'm trying to say is he wanted to go to the Pac-12 first time around, and ended up back. He actually originally committed to UConn. So
yeah, that's right. Anyway. UConn, and then kind of split it off to, and he's done very well.
I was sitting in San Francisco. Why isn't the Pac-12? He's out of the UConn commitment. What are you guys doing?
Yeah,
he's great.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah. Anyway,
really quick.
All right, next question. I got deviated.
What separates a great college non-NBA guy, like a great college player, from a great college good NBA guy? What makes it translate to the pros?
What makes it? I didn't understand. A great college guy?
So some guys are really good college players.
Yeah.
But they're not pros. But some guys aren't good college players and are pros.
Oh, it's just when it's maturation process, I think, when their length, their athleticism, just some bodies are physically maturing. I don't know, you'll see it all the time. I think like the one we're going against, I think Duarte's going to be a pro.
Okay.
And his basketball still might be ahead of him.
Yeah.
He could end up being, he may not make it, I don't know why, but I could see him being an NBA starter. I could see, just because he's got good size, great skill, good field, like all those things. And he's in junior college, and you might not have saw that last year if you're a casual fan, but I'm like, he made an improvement, but it's like he looks like a guy that just keeps going.
Yeah, love it. Yeah. So there you go, Dave. Thanks for both those questions. Those were from previous week. We didn't get to those last. So this is now current.
All right, current.
Greg wants to know, how is Jefferson's rehab going? How's Jefferson doing? And do you know if there will be an NIT or CBI or CIT? Does anybody know that yet?
I'd say in the last question, I have no idea. I thought about that the other day. I think it's going to be probably too hard for any of those guys to do.
The only thing about the NIT, some of these other tournaments, the only reason why I would say there's a yellow light as opposed to a red light, if I may, is their home sites. Their home sites.
Yep.
That's
probably
a different ball game. You don't have to go.
I think the CBI and CITs, those would be too much of a challenge to put together. Like, I know the guys that run both of them. Whenever I'm like that, I got to think they're just like, I'm punting.
Tough year.
Well, we'll deal with this. That's not going to be a moneymaker. We'll live to see another day, I guess. But then the NCAA owns NIT, so that's a possibility. I just don't see them all doing the Final Four in New York. But I'm all for it. I think it'd be great. My assistants are like, can we host a tournament? Can we just call it the Coug Invitational and bring?
Sounds great.
I mean, I think it'd be great. I said, why not? Like, come on.
Listen,
or postseason. Whatever, more games. Let's do it.
Sounds fun. We got multiple hotels.
Yeah,
in Pullman.
Come on, residents in.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're good.
Let's go. How's Jefferson doing?
Oh, Jefferson, great. I think everyone's gonna really like his spirit. If you've been around him, he's a high energy guy. We call him Noah Light. He's a little smaller. He's Noah Light. And a lot of more reasons than one. But he's awesome. He's fun. I think as far as I know, the rehab's going good. I think he's cleared to shoot. He shoots all the time, but he's not cleared to practice. But he's fun. We missed him this year because he was kind of the most important freshman as far as extra ball handler, quickness, guarding the ball. It could have really helped, but it still would have been a freshman. But it's like we got to see him. We got to practice with him for 3 weeks, so that helped.
I watched him a lot.
Oh yeah.
He's a really good ball player.
Yeah,
I mean, he can really play. He can really play ball.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
but I'm just trying. It also gets depressed when you bring him up now. But
we're not trying to bum you. It's
no,
exciting. It's exciting for the future.
No, exactly. And he's got about. Because I did the math, I think he's 3 months from surgery, so it's usuly 6 months. So I was like, we get to work with him in June now. It's like, he'll be done. Right. So but he's self-motivated too. He's like our type of guy. Attitude, work ethic, really want to be here in the recruiting process. Like that's so important to us. Like people don't understand. There's some guys like Bamba, and they're just like they want in so bad. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because they check all the boxes on the attitude, work ethic, and it just makes your culture. We have a good culture. Well. You guys that really want to be here. Yeah. And it's not the compare and contrast, and that's what I love about Jefferson. He's like, man, he came here. He's like, he loved it. He's like, Coach, I want to do this. I love it. My kind of guy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, we love those.
Tim Watts wants to know, and I don't know if you know the answer to this. How does Matthew Knight Arena compare to other Pac arenas? I don't think you've been there. Yeah.
Never been there. Yeah. Can I say something? Derogatory?
I mean,
it's hard to watch on TV.
Oh, the court's tough.
It's
very busy. It's very busy.
I understand Phil Knight and the whole thing behind it, but like sometimes you got to swallow your pride and like we got to redo this thing.
I didn't understand it for a while. Like when it first popped out, I couldn't figure it out.
It's awful. I really will turn the station, and it's nothing to like. Oregon's fun to watch, and how when the ball goes out of bounds. It's like it's a mess, and no No one's spoken the evil truth over there. It's like, hey, man, we got to do something better. We can do better. We can do better on that.
I like.
I'm sure it's a nice arena, though.
It's beautiful. It's a stunningly beautiful arena.
Yeah.
It's now what it is not.
It's almost like Beasley?
It's funny.
Beasley Light? Is it like Noah Light, Beasley Light? Okay.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because, Beasley, oh gosh, I forget the year. Beasley was built in, 1970. Jerry Kylo knows. What was it? It's a 71. It's a 71.
What a testament to
He's the
architecture.
He's the
but,
best.
that and also just it's like the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, well, it's not going
It's
anywhere.
got 50. Is this our 50-year anniversary? We have not celebrated that, right?
I guess it's the 50th year of Beasley. Yeah,
people just assume.
How about that? Get this.
Yeah.
You'll love this. My mother-in-law has a Bon Jovi concert tour shirt on the back, Pullman, Washington.
That's so incredible.
It's so because Spokane Arena didn't exist yet.
Oh, that's
so that when they came to Spokane, they're coming to Pullman. So on the back of the shirt. She pulls it out. She goes, "Hey, it's the Bon Jovi came to Pullman."
So good.
Ash has got it. She wears it around. It's great.
Is it one of the 3/4?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
it
dude,
is.
that was
3/4 Bon Jovi.
Yeah,
it's phenomenal.
dude. I still have a Van Halen hanging out somewhere,
So
man.
good.
Like the 3/4.
If they did a West Coast tour, they probably weren't Beasley.
It looked like a straight out of Dazed and Confused.
It's
man.
great.
Like, no question.
It's great.
That's an early 80s.
Well, Matthew Knight Arena, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, but it's not intimate. I mean, it's a.
MacArthur was cool. I played there. It was cool, man. It was cool, man.
The old gymnasiums are tight, and that's not Matthew Knight. Matthew Knight's beautiful, and it's a little,
I thought we learned our lesson when we did like Veterans Stadium and those places.
Which is Beasley, the big.
Hey! That almost sounded negative.
No, it's just that's the style. That's the style of the big arena back in the 70s. It's a big, multi-purpose,
and
it's 50 years, and here,
I mean, you're also coming from you were Syracuse, though. I mean,
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
So
there's 25,000 people in there, and it's not that loud.
And it
because
feels
it's
like
dissipating to the it's half empty.
The fact that they keep it rolling like that's kind of silly.
It's incredible to see. So my dorm was right next to it, and on like a Thursday, it'd be like Providence, and thered be 25,000 people walking,
and it's a big,
and then 30 on Saturday. It's not the big game.
I can't believe they didn't just plop like a 16,000 seat arena and just make it and be like Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Can't get in there.
Well,
can't get in.
They used to play
in Manley Field.
And it was 8,000. It was so.
Yeah, I know, but somewhere in between. But you know what they could charge? It was 16,000. Well, I mean, it would be silly. But anyway.
Well, I'm excited for that. We'll have that discussion in a year.
We're going to honor the 50-year anniversary.
No, about the full Beasley. We've seen Beasley full.
No question.
And I can't wait for that.
Well, that was someone said that. I said so that. I do. Someone mentioned about FA. I said, you know what? I think he does bring. I just know the buzz around the street.
Everybody wants to see him. They should.
No,
absolutely.
Exactly. And he's
a great kid.
That's
too.
what I'm saying. Like if we turned him loose and they get to know him.
He's a great kid. He's a
humble,
great big smile.
Humble beyond belief.
Great attitude. He's a great kid.
He's really fun that way. And he can put his head on the rim.
Literally. It's amazing.
It's fun.
It's amazing. Hey, how much? So Lynn asks. He sent a question in with a picture of his grandson looking at a framed Klay Thompson jersey. How much does attitude fit into the game? I think I can win versus full belief. And then he says, plus my grandson's 2 feet tall at 2 months. The doctor thinks 6'2" in high school. Is he ready? Is he recruitable?
For sure, recruitable. But believe. I'll put this one. This was funny because I was recruiting in the Ivy League, and I have parents come in and they'd say, my son's not going to be an NBA player. And the kid's 17 years old, and I'd immediately eliminate the kids. And I feel terrible for saying that because I thought, Jeremy Lin was 17.
Yeah.
And there's only one person that Jeremy Lin was going to be an NBA player.
Jeremy Lin. Yeah.
So confidence and belief is everything.
Yeah.
And you can steer that in the right direction. I think we got a couple of them. But like Noah, that's Noah's gift.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell him he can't do something. Trust me, I try to all the time. and he's hard-headed, he's stubborn, but he believes, and those things are contagious too. And that's when you get your team. Sometimes we're a little out of line. That's whoever captured him and Isaac. Scott may not be banned from whatever their little tweet today. I had to explain to our guys that we're 3-7. In league that we need to slow our roll a little bit. We won one in a row, handle success, but confidence is everything.
Yeah. Pac-12 Dave asks,
No.
and this is a programming question, so we're going to go
All right.
throw your media hat on. You've had the headset on a lot. Do you guys take phone calls? I'm in Florida, and I'm a minority one of the Panhandle. We'd love to take phone calls. We get a lot of tweets. Dave,
Yeah.
if you want to get you on the air, there is a phone call, 866-COOG-TALK.
There is?
There is a phone number, 866-268-4825
Oh.
is the phone number. So
My wife will be in here any second.
Amazing.
I mean, that's
amazing. We have a hotline. We have a Cook Talk line.
Oh,
we could fire the phone calls up if you want to. We do need to build the delay because we don't trust anybody.
No, you shouldn't.
We got a
You're
7-second delay, and we'll figure that out. So Pac-12 Dave, 866-268-4825. We'd love to talk.
Come on in,
Pac-12 Dave in Florida could be a staple in the show. Absolutely.
Would love it.
If you
want
wanna-
the Soup Chat guys, they didn't know that. They would call in with the trivia.
We'll do it. We could.
I didn't know.
100%. We could fire that up
I
for
didn't
sure.
know. All right.
The only thing I will say about it is sometimes just the audio quality is not great of a cell phone. It doesn't. So if your call's choppy, we'll cut you off, but we'll take it on the Twitch just because it doesn't sound great.
We don't need it. I mean, whatever. It's just bonus.
Yeah. Bruce asks.
You're a little long-winded. But anyway, go ahead.
Excuse me? Bruce asks, love seeing Isaac and Noah throwing – oh, well, okay, hang on. Throwing shade. That's what I said.
We've already addressed that.
Is that good for team psyche? We just talked about this. All
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Thank you, Bruce.
Bruce, you got my explanation. I beat you to the punch.
Ben asks, who is on your Mount Rushmore of college coaches? And I'm going to put you on the spot here to say – coaches who are don't name anybody active. How about that?
Oh.
How about because unless you want to, but I was going to relieve you of that burden, so you didn't have to.
You know what? That's a great question. It's not something I really. I mean, I'd go with my personal mentors. Like Hank Egan, the first guy that hired me. He's out of the game. And then let's see, Tom Murphy, the guy that coached me, Randy Bennett, Brad Holland. But beyond those guys, there's been. That's a great question. I've read a lot, and I don't like put myself, or I don't even like put up. But John Wooden, though, if you read about and everything he's about, I think he's the real McCoy as far as. I think coaching so much about relationships, so much about saying what you do and doing what you say. He seemed like he had that. Now he also had really good players. That was pretty. That was pretty impressive.
Heard of a few of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, like the old school guy, and we just lost one, John Chaney.
Yeah.
Who's a coach's coach, man. Yeah. He had those. I love the fact he had because I was talking to a guy that played for him, and I just knew they're going to be pretty tough because they get up. I said, "You guys got up at 6 every day in practice." He said 5:30. Yeah. He said 5:30. It wasn't 6.
Famous.
So
famous.
Yeah, but just to be able to, and nothing I would like to. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I respect the fact to do that, and just to be. And they were so good and tough, and he was just like he didn't care. He cared about the toughness and winning.
Temple is a great trivia question, which we should – now I'm going to blow it.
Okay, go ahead.
But Temple is way higher all-time college wins than people realize. In terms of all-time wins, they're way – it's like Kentucky, UCLA, and like not that far from those is Temple. They've been good forever, for a really long time.
And then I'll tell you another one that it was probably not what you'd think. That kind of got the vault open to me when I worked for Joe Scott at Air Force. Is the whole Princeton deal and Pete Carrill, and I don't think it's anything what you would think it's like. They coach them hard, and the perception is this, slow pace, grind it out, backdoor layup, and they're really innovative. They've changed. There's nothing said on that stuff, and they were also scoring like 80 a game when they had Armand Hill, they had Jeff Petrie, they had Brian Taylor. They had NBA players that before TV, before Big Monday, before kind of there was a little separation of talent, and they come back. So like there's this 40-year culture of basketball and their knowledge, and they're a wee bit arrogant about it. Don't tell them I said that. You think their doctor said
both.
If it's Princeton guys coaching Air Force, but I should say you would think they invented the game. They're a little myopic, but I have so much respect for them, and it's all coming from one source.
Yeah.
And mostly it's Coach Carrill, and so those guys, I guess by far, like Joe, I worked for him 11 months, and I might have learned more from him than anybody. And I think that he's like, they call him the bull for a reason.
Wow, really cool.
And Chris Mooney was my roommate, and I just learned a lot from them. Just I'm trying to think who else. That was an interesting question. That was a terrible Rushmore. I mean, as far as like, I named 14 guys.
It's a big mountain. You don't need 4. We're going more faces in.
I named 14 guys.
I like ones that are.
I also used to go this. I'd like to be Coach Beeline when I grow up. That's what I used to when he was in Michigan. Like, because I think he was pretty much like the guys he likes. He wasn't afraid to take a Division III transfer.
Oh gosh,
Duncan Robinson took a Division III transfer in Michigan, and he had to be an NBA player.
But he had guys in Morgantown.
Yeah,
Kevin Pittsnoggle,
yeah.
and Mike Gansey, Big East Player of the Year, wearing a T-shirt. Mike Gansey was not even supposed to be. He was supposed to be there, and he's the biggest Player of the Year.
Yeah. No, it's like those are the guys that anyone that again like can. It's so much of it salesman, the recruiting piece. You can get lost and wrapped up, and those guys are like, I'm a coach. This is how we do it.
Yeah.
If you want in, come join me.
Yeah.
And we're going to win anyway. They're so drilled into what they're doing.
Yeah.
And Beeline, I run into Beeline recruiting like we're at Columbia, like DJ Wilson, like it was Columbia, Michigan, and Gonzaga. Actually,
what are you doing here? Yeah.
It was actually Gonzaga jumped in late, but I was like, you wouldn't be a little scared. It's just Columbia and you. Aren't you a little worried? He's like,
I like the kid.
I
love the confidence.
He's an NBA player too.
I love
the
it.
best was I had him on campus at Columbia in the assistant AD. She's a wonderful person, Doris Griffin. She'll be a big time AD. She comes like, we need more guys like that on visits. I said, really?
You like pros?
I was like, well, never. You'll see him play. I don't think you'll ever see him here, but he's going to play for a long time.
Oh, that's a great story. It's really fun. Oh, we are up against it. Greg, before we go to break, Greg Gluck says, Chaz, I saw Van Halen in Beasley.
Oh,
I love it.
I
love it.
So
it's
good.
So great.
That's great.
Hey, Zeppo's where the Palouse comes to play and eat. We'll take a break. Come back. We're talking ball here with Coach Smith. Cold refreshment made to chill. 2020 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly. Coach, are you ready for trivia next segment?
Absolutely.
Are you braced?
Easy enough. Let's go.
All right, we'll do. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll do trivia next. World famous. We'll come back for it.
Oh, sorry. Hit that.
hoops, and we are due for trivia now. And let's get right to it. Music. Let's fire the music up. High drama. All right. Question number 1, Coach Smith. Klay Thompson scored 43 against the Huskies. Stuart House scored 38 against the Huskies in 1980. Which Coug great who you know scored 37 against the Huskies for the third most points in the Coug-Husky rivalry?
Who I know?
Very well.
Craig Elo.
Correct. That is correct.
I was
That is correct.
trying to see what Ellaby does.
That is 37.
You feel like I need a handicap for these questions? You give me some hard tips.
I helped you out. You got it right. You got it.
I know, but I feel
like you can't complain after you get it right.
I feel like you're patronizing me,
Well, it's a hard question. It's a hard question.
Anyway,
to
go
just
ahead.
go open-ended.
All
okay.
Right, go.
You beat Oregon last year. Music, please, Jake. Got to.
Yeah.
Right. There we go. All right. You beat Oregon last year in Pullman. Puts pressure on Coach. That's important. You beat Oregon last year in Pullman 72-61. It was a win over a top 10 team.
Yeah.
Multiple choice trivia question. Was it the 3rd, 5th, or 10th all-time Cougar win over a top 10 team?
10th.
3rd. It was the 3rd.
I mean, I'd like to think we have 10 top 10 wins.
I
really can't believe it's only 3.
We have 3.
We
have 3.
Well,
it's
only been done 2 other times.
It's a big win.
Good to know.
All right, third question. This is my favorite question in trivia, and will always be my favorite question in trivia history. I was very tickled with myself when I figured this out.
Okay.
You just had the biggest margin of victory at Washington since 1994.
Okay.
That was the Mark Hendrickson, Isaac Fontaine, Eddie Hill team. Okay.
Wow.
Great.
That was 94.
Gosh, great Coug team.
I kind of remember that.
Kelvin Sampson, head coach. Hendrickson played 5 years in the NBA and then 10 years in Major League Baseball.
Yep.
He was drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yep.
Then eventually was in Sacramento with the Kings.
Okay.
Who was the SID that you know very, very well of the Sacramento Kings when Mark Hendrickson was there, who was doing all the write-ups for Mark Hendrickson? And this is not an obscure – you know this guy.
Am I looking at him or is it his boss?
Might be his boss.
I guess I didn't think that was
not that old.
But he's got some NorCal roots.
He's
got some NorCal roots. I was like, wait a second. I'm like,
isn't that great?
Yeah, we're awesome.
We're inducting Mark Hendrickson in the Hall of Fame,
and
cool. Bill Stevens walks up and hands me this pamphlet because Mark's there. This is 2 years ago. And he hands me the Sacramento Kings pamphlet. I was like, oh, that's really cool. You brought that down from the archives. It's Mark in his Kings jersey. And he goes, I wrote it.
That's unbelievable.
I was there. Yeah, I made
cool.
it. Yeah, it's cool. It's really, really cool.
That's cool.
Okay. We're going off hoops. Way off.
Gotcha.
This food is regarded as the oldest snack food in human history. Around 610 AD is when it was first created. They're not sure if it was Northern Italy or maybe Germany. What's the oldest snack food?
Oh, it's Slim Jim.
No, it's not a Slim.
I thought it was easy. That's not a Slim Jim?
No. It's and you've eaten them like maybe today, maybe yesterday, whatever. When you're watching the Super Bowl, you're going to have this.
Nachos?
Close, but no. Pretzels.
Really, I would have never
pretzels.
guessed.
Yep, pretzels.
I like Slim Jim. I'm stand by Slim Jim.
Slim Jim.
Forever. Those things last forever. You go to a gas station, and those things have been there forever. And I don't mind eating them. I got to be honest.
This is a
hat tip to the Slim Jim creator.
1,400-year-old Slim Jim.
I thought for sure.
Okay, fifth and final question. We're going heavily local here, local knowledge. At approximately 30 million bushels of wheat, each being about 60 pounds.
Oh, my gosh.
So apologies if this data is a little off. About 5 years old. Which county is the nation's top wheat producer in America?
Whitman.
Whitman County, correct. That is correct.
Yes!
There you go. You go. Drilled it. You live there. You live in it. How about that? 30 million.
That's a lot.
And they all at 60 pounds. Isn't that
that's
cool? That's just amazing. I think
that's what we do a year?
A year.
Oh, my gosh.
A year.
We feed the world.
It's amazing. It's the coolest thing. Hey, need something to smile about? Try taking home your share of millions in jackpots at Northern Quest. That'll do it every time. Northern Quest, now playing, now paying. Were you 3 for 5 there? 4 for 5? I think you were 4.
I'm going to stand by Slim Jim. You do your research.
5. See, you're
salami.
I'm telling you, you're pulling. You're pulling.
You said Italy.
We'll take a break. Come back. We're talking hoops here. We'll talk all kinds of things with Coach Smith when we return. who that's the best job, Jared Prengruber. He's in this room
as
we speak. His father was at the first ever Beasley event, and that was graduation.
Graduation. I'm 5 for 6 now.
In 72, 73, whatever it was. I think that's I love the whole deal. All right, we got one more break to take, but before we do that, you are back on the road. It's 2 more Pacific Northwest rivals. You're in Eugene. You're in Corvallis. It's the first meeting against the Ducks, a Duck team that's vastly different than last year in a lot of personnel. Omar Rui is a transfer. Duarte's still there. You talked about Duarte a little bit. Infale Dante last year actually didn't play a ton. He was a big recruit, but I think he had some injury stuff. So what do you see from this Duck team this year? No more Peyton Pritchard.
It's similar, just without Peyton Pritchard, which is a big part of their deal. But they just love, and they're actually a little more longer than Hardy's, a little more bullish point guard and that stuff. But just they really have a style of play they like to play. They're just long, rangy, multi-positional guys. They switch a lot of stuff. They just put you on your heels and really tough situation where our ball handling is going to be tested again, and we got to do a better job. But they got some, like I said, Duarte is really one of the best guys. He's just fun to watch. I think he's shooting 65 from 2 and like 40 from 3 and like 90 from the line, and he's just really efficient, and he gets a couple steals. So it'll be a tough one. But like Washington is kind of Oregon-like, just style of play. But they're not quite as good, but they're kind of the same thing. So hopefully we're prepared a little bit and ready to roll.
Do you think that over the 6 games where you didn't play like you wanted, the number to look at is that turnover number? Is that the common?
It's been all season. That one's just we're young, the youth playing. What it was 6 out of 8 on the road. That's a little tricky. And then we'll finish it off here 8 out of 10. So it's good. I kind of like toughness up, and we got doubled up our Pac-12 wins this year on the road from last year.
That's true.
I haven't heard anything about that, Chaz.
Well, let's talk about it. It's not easy to win on the road.
That's 100% improvement.
I was joking with Eggs. I said, okay, we're 3-7 in the Pac. Who would have thunk, 10 games in, the two would have 2 road wins?
I know.
It's not easy to do. It's harder to win.
No. We didn't get one till late last year, but we got more competitive as the year went on the road. And like I said, on the neutral, we played well. But, and like I said, 2 games, UCLA popped us good. But, they shot us out of it a little bit, so we didn't really recover. And then at Colorado early, but I'm not putting that one. Now, the other ones we even competed that one. Is there another one I'm missing?
They've come. USC, Stanford. There was Stanford.
Stanford, we competed.
Yeah.
Yeah. SC, we competed.
Yeah.
Right? Like we got to get.
Yeah. It was really just the Bruin chance.
Game. Yeah. And you said 31-13 against Colorado, but I didn't feel like we weren't competing. We weren't hanging our heads. They were making shots. We chipped away at it. So, and that's an important part of be good program is you can't be focused on results. It's hard to win on the road. And we against at Cal and at Washington, we kind of start to finish and play like we were. Never got headed and hung in there pretty good early in the first half, but we were pretty determined, so that was a good sign, I hope.
We'll take a break, come back. Final break, actually. It's the final segment coming up next. We'll put a button on it. in our ears here as we're getting set for the
Christian.
Okay, all right. We got the final segment here. Now, Coach, you're going to Eugene. We didn't talk about the rematch against the Beavers. You've got a way early season conference win because additional 2 games this year. Still floating around out there, by the way, is that Arizona State rematch. We'll figure that out. I think that's the last game of the regular season at their place on the schedule currently. So anyway, you've got the Beavers that you played forever ago. How much has each team evolved since you last played? Oregon State's been playing really good ball.
Completely different teams a little bit.
Yeah.
We were playing smaller. We had FA starting at center, and Deshaun just was cleared the first game. That was the first game he was cleared to play, and I threw him in there for 9 minutes. And they were playing big, and they were playing I don't know if it's
Kalu and Alatiche.
Alatiche is a 3, so they've downsized a little bit, and they've, I think, inserted Lucas in the lineup, and they're still pretty big because you got Thompson as a point guard, 6'5".
Silva, when he comes in, Roman Silva's like Vova.
Yeah, Silva's like Vova. They were starting him at the time. They still got 2 other bigs. I can't think, whatever. I'm focused on Oregon, but
sure.
But so I think that's helped them a lot. I mean, they got beat by Portland after us, and then they struggled with Portland State, but that was kind of their moment, whatever, and they've taken off.
Yeah, all right, we got about 1 minute left. I want to be sure to thank Jerry Kylo, gets us on the air, Jared Prengruber, Ben Lasky, who joins us here in the Martin Stadium.
Hey, he was SID of the Sacramento Kings.
That's correct. Ben Lasky, the 1990-something SID of the Kings, and Jake Hermana back in the U.S. Bank Network studios, who does a great job. Thank you for this time, and hey, good luck in Eugene. And just so you know, the tree issue, not an issue in person. That's a television thing. You're going to see the court fine.
That's weird.
30?
Yeah. Now, the lines are a little dicey, but, it's really not.
No, I was wondering. I figured not.
No,
I figured it's not. They'd have to change it. But on TV,
fine.
it's a terrible look.
It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, hey, go Cougs. Going to Eugene, going to Corvallis. Thanks so much for listening, everybody.